Hey guys, welcome back to the next episode of the Manager Career Mode here on MotoGP 2017. Thank you guys so much for the support on this series. I come back each day after work and I look at the comments and all of the likes, the new subscriptions. It really is awesome. So thank you guys once again. So next up we have got the Italian Grand Prix. If I remember correctly, this was our best result in our first team in the Rider Career Mode. So this should be a pretty interesting race here. Currently P7 in the standings. This is going to be an interesting one. What's happening in here? Next deadline in 1 week. Okay. What do we do here then? We don't want to spend all this sort of money. Okay. No, let's hold off on that for a little bit. We want to get to Moto 2 first. And fingers crossed we can do it this season. But it might be a little bit of a leap. But we'll see how this season goes. So for some reason this took like 2 or 3 minutes to load, which is really strange. It never normally takes that long to load into a session. So nonetheless, you guys mentioned in that last one that we need to wait for like a transfer window to change the colours on our bike, and I think it's after this race right here. So we'll get into this session, we'll hop straight in, hopefully we'll set a decent enough lap time, be right at the front, and then after this race we'll try and change the livery if it lets us. Right, so starting this lap here, 13 minutes of the session remaining. Current fastest lap is a 2:07.3. I really can't remember what we did in the Rider Career Mode. We're sort of on the same level of bike we were back then, so it'd be interesting to see whether we can get right at the front here today. We know the race pace in that Mugello race in the Rider Career Mode was, especially quite good. I remember gaining quite a few positions in that race, so I don't know whether qualifying is so important, but then if I do remember correctly, that Rider Career Mode race was in like the intermediate rainy conditions, but just up through the first sector. They're very close. A little bit less than it normally has been of recent, to be fair. Now we've got into our rhythm. We have been doing quite good in quali, but we all know when the race comes about, the AI are so much faster. Right, so this is the part of the track, if I remember correctly, where we were quite quick in the last one. We lost quite a bit of time in those middle 2 sectors here, but we might be able to get a good enough run through this last sector to push us into that top 5. It's normally about half a second. Currently, it was at 1.1 second down. I sort of caught a glimpse at the corner of my eye here, but I think this has been a pretty good last sector. So around the final corner, we might even be able to nab a little bit of a slipstream off this rider just in front here. It's going to be very, very small if it is any sort of advantage. Up to the start-finish line, what's it going to be? A 2:07.3. Whoa, that last sector was mega. Currently pole position by a 10th. This is going to be a close one. So that's why you pay attention at all times to where you're going, guys. Right, race day in Italy. So this is a big one. We know we've got a slight advantage in quali, but the race is, of course, a very, very different scenario. So the middle 2 sectors, especially, we were very slow in that sort of qualifying session right there. So we've got to be wary about losing a lot of time there. I can't remember what the gear button is. I'm so bad. You guys told me to start in gear, but I don't know what the gear buttons are. Should have definitely looked. You guys saying starting in first will help my starts out. So I really appreciate that sort of feedback. Just because I forget half the time, it doesn't mean I'm not reading them. So always keep leaving the feedback, and I will be reading it. Don't worry, guys. And if I don't respond to comments straight away, just that is an apology on my part, because I literally just have so little time to sort of actually just read through the comments and reply to all of them now, which sounds like such a terrible excuse, but I will try and get around to it the best I possibly can. That was something I've always wanted to do on YouTube, is just make sure I reply to all of the comments, all that sort of stuff, because like, at the end of the day, that's what inspires me to just keep going. So yeah, I'll try and get around to it, guys. Just don't expect it maybe on the day, but the few days, hopefully that'll be the case. Anyway, very close here. Down here's on a Mia. Hopping over the curve like an absolute pro, and we've run wide, but we've kept the position. Right back into the lead, boys. No, run a tad wide. That's so close for Connect getting through there. So close, but he couldn't quite squeeze it through. Just keeping the position for now, but running a tad wide. Get the power down, just about squeeze the throttle enough in time. Get the position back. Then we do remember this is the part of the track where we actually do gain time. Like 1.2, 1.3 seconds in quali we gained in this last sector. I totally didn't expect that to be the case, but it worked out quite well. So I'm not going to say no, but this is looking like a pretty strong position so far. Just don't bottle it. So, actually, not too much drama so far, which is pretty good. But a race without drama for me normally means everything's going okay. But unfortunately, most races do involve a little bit of drama in this career mode. So far, 0.8 of a second clear of Canet in second place. I'm happy with that. That's really good. That sort of coming out that well, because I did not expect that. I really did not expect that to have that sort of gap. I mean, I expect them to be way all... if I was leading the race, I expect them to be way all over me. So far, I'm pretty damn happy about how this race is going, but to make sure we don't speak too soon, because that's when it all goes wrong here in this career mode. Hopping over the curb, but luckily, nothing bad happened. So as we go onto the last lap of the race in a second now, you're going to see, look at the gap, it really has gone up. So we do actually have good race pace here. This is obviously not just a fluke. The race pace there seems to be so much better than any other track. I think for the last few games it was the French track that this was sort of the case for. Like, I had the really good pace in France, but this game it looks like Mugello is the track for me. I say that and then run really wide. Luckily they weren't quite close enough there, but nonetheless, definitely looks like this track definitely suits my style, or whether it works with me going on the keyboard or something, I don't know. But there's definitely not that gap from quali to the race which there normally is. Like, so far this has been good. Anyway, we've only got half a lap, just don't bottle it. So, last few corners here in Italy. This is quite tense. The first possible. No, not now. Oh, we outbraked ourselves quite badly through there. But what could be the first victory here in the manager career mode? Obviously a massive milestone. Something that you want to check off as soon as possible. But when you're on a Mahindra, you don't expect it to be any time at all, because let's be honest, this Mahindra bike is not as good as the rest. But for some reason at this track it all seems to come alive, and you saw after Mugello in the last, I think it was the last rider career mode of in 2017, we actually got promoted up to another better team. So it obviously works out quite well for us this track. Last corner round there and up to the start finish line. It's going to be 25 points for Mahindra, 25 points for our team. The first victory of Afro Motorsports, I think that's what I called it, right? Maybe. Across the line. Nice last lap time there. Really happy with that. That is absolutely awesome. And look at the gap. They weren't like right behind me, like over 2 seconds. Wow, I'm really happy with that, guys. So happy that we managed to get that lap time in there right at the end. And look, it's put up to, look, P5 championship. Oh my goodness, did not expect that. And to be perfectly honest, we're not that far behind Fenati. Then there's a bit of a gap to Jorge Martin, Canet and Mir, but 66 points to lead the championship on a Mahindra. Am I dreaming, boys? Right, we can change the colour of the bike. Awesome. So, lots of you guys said different things, but I think the coolest, and well, just to be something different, I'm going to make the bike pink for the rest of, or until the next transfer window at least. I don't know. Every bike just seems to be the same colour, or, you know, the same shade of blue, slightly different version of, like, grey or whatever. It's just, or white. Like, they all seem pretty damn similar in the Moto 3 category. So, let's mix it up. Let's go with something wacky and different. That, and, oh, the yellow. Just get out. This looks horrible. Yeah, I mean, that is just on point. That is incredible. What about the Alpine Stars? Ah, okay. So we can get rid of that horrible yellow through just changing this. Let's just go with that then, just to get rid of the horrible yellow. It just doesn't fit at all. So, Catalunya up next. As we said in the Rider Career mode, a sort of a track we really know quite well thanks to our time on the F1 games. Why has the suit still got the yellow on it? Oh, it just looks so terrible. What's the reason why we changed the style of liveries to get that horrible yellow? But it just doesn't work. It doesn't work whatsoever. I mean, the bike, I think it looks pretty decent, to be fair. But, yeah, not his overalls. Not his overalls one bit. I'm not gonna lie, I can't get over how good the Mahindra sounds in this game. For some reason, it just sounds so cool. Like the McLaren Honda in F1 2016, to throw out an example. It just seemed to be done so much better than the other engine noises in that game. And this Mahindra seems like exactly the same case in Moto 3. I don't know whether it's just because naturally it is a weird, different different audio sound. I mean, I know the McLaren Honda is just a terrible engine in F1 and is naturally just loud and rubbish. But I don't know, the Mahindra... Oh, no. Get back on the tracks. The Mahindra just sounds good. Sounds good. Oh, no. We're getting overtaken by Venati on our fast lap, which can only mean one thing, and we're down in the third sector split there. But this is going to be an interesting theory. Venati's caught me up a whole bunch on this lap. So, theoretically, he should be on pole by a huge amount of time. But I can't see that being the case. I can see us being right up there in the last couple of corners. So, theoretically, I cannot be better than Venati on this lap, unless he's technically on an out lap. But theoretically, I shouldn't be faster than Venati, but then I'm pretty sure I'm going to go across the line and be ahead of him. So up to the last corner, or around the last corner, up to the start-finish line, it's going to be pole, isn't it? Oh no, it's... Okay, I thought it was the other line. That's awkward. Okay, I'm definitely not ahead of Venati. Ignore what I just said. Right, race day. I'm not really sure what I'm feeling for this, guys. I obviously do much better in quali normally, and then to be this low down is a bit gutting. So I'm trying to figure out, are there any of these that I just spamming the keyboard? None of them are first gear. Nonetheless, when we're starting P12, we generally get an average start. It's just when we're starting at the front, to be perfectly honest, and everyone gets an incredible start, and you just can't hang. So down to turn 1, they're all taking the inside line, which seems a bit strange. No one on the racing line, which is much grippier. But then also, if you forget to brake, it might not be too good. But up the inside of Venati, who we were talking about just a second ago on that qualifying lap, and we're into P7 here. So what's that? Oh my goodness, what's happened there? But Mir, what's happened here? Jan Mir, who's I think leading this championship by like 30 odd points, is really struggling. If we get past him, he'll be in P7, but that's a big if. Oh, he's got down the inside of Antonelli. Oh, we're sliding as well. Oh, can we get off him there? We didn't want to cause an accident. That was so nearly me off onto the ground there, but luckily just about holding it on here. But this is big. This is big for the championship. With Mir down in P7 and Canet up there in the lead of this race by the look of it. That's going to really swing the championship a lot about, but we'll see. We'll see whether it ends like that. I'm sure Mir will somehow find a way to be right at the front once again. Antonelli, oh, I'm a bit sneaky there. That was a bit of a dive bomb, but we might just be able to get P5. Maybe not. Let's see on the brakes down here. We'll try and be a bit sneaky on the brakes, but to be fair, that KTM is actually not too bad. And now just outbraked myself. They're all going to go through. Yep. Okay, well that sort of worked itself back out. Ertel's ahead of him as well. Mir's down to P8. What is going on in this race? Is this like a disaster for him here? It's definitely not going his way, let's just say that. Oh, and now there's contact with me. I've been hopped off over the curbs. Oh, I'm not trying to take him out. For anyone that asks whether I'm doing that, I'm just all over the place here, lads. All over the place. Right, just keep it calm. Just get Ertel back at some point. Oh, did not expect that. Sorry, that took me by surprise. I thought I was just going to follow those three through that corner, but, well, they went really slowly through there. That's up to P4 after that weird turn of events there, because I was just going to follow them through that corner, but for some odd reason... Oh no, I've missed the brake. Again, I've misjudged the brakes. But for some reason, they were so slow through that corner. I don't know why I'm absolutely bottling into the brakes there 2 laps in a row. Really not having my chance of any sort of good points here today. I mean, I suppose we are in P7, which is decent enough, but still, the pink machine needs to be more than P7 right now, in my opinion. We want to try and battle for like top 5 of the championship, but we want to get enough credits to get to Moto 2. That's our aim, but you guys telling me it's going to be a tough old task to do that. But let's see, we'll try our best. But I think it is going to be a tough task to move up to Moto 2 and beyond. Ertel, what's happened there? Okay, that's not the racing line. I'm going to give that position back. Let's lift off and let him back through. Because that was just me basically doing a speciality corner cut. So back down to P5. But if we could now P4, I'd be happy with that. I'd be happy. Oh my goodness, that was so nearly a wipeout. I've seen nearly both of us not getting any points. But yeah. P4, that would be pretty epic. I would definitely take that. But at the end of the day, P5 is pretty decent as well. It's only a couple of points between them. But if we want to finish top 4, top 5 in this championship, we're going to need to be a bit more ruthless with our points. Stop absolutely bottling it under the pressure and stop messing up these braking zones. But there was the corner last lap where we get a good run. And we've done the same this time. Up to P4. And there we go. Can we hold it? That's the big question. Can we hold this to the end of the lap? Oh my goodness. Oh, I just CBA. I absolutely CBA. I went off the track and it reset me. Oh my goodness. This is going to be BP. Oh no. I went off the track. I ran really wide. I absolutely threw away a top 5 finish there. Suppose that's what you get, pushing too hard and it resets you. I can't really complain. I'm just annoyed at myself. So that is it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you could remember to leave a like, that'd be absolutely epic. I apologise for the riding in that last race there. It was just not up to standard. I really should not have bottled it with a couple of corners to go. I should not have pushed that hard and ran wide. Annoyed at myself, but that's the way it is. But yeah, thank you for watching. Have an epic day, and I'll see you tomorrow for more MotoGP 2017. Goodbye.